Hello, everyone. Welcome to Untangled. Hopefully, this internet is good. I'm in Berlin. The hotel internet has been funky. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. How are you guys doing? I'm going to close this. All right. I'm cold, so I have a hat on. And is everything is the internet okay? Is it choppy? Is it breaking up? I'm hoping that it's good. I'm so happy that you're here live, rather be relaxing in LA. Hello, Sean. Hi, Kayla, Lavina, people, places, and perspective. Hi, Barbara. It's good. It's good. Okay. All right. So I have a couple of announcements and then I'm going to get going and share a little bit. I literally was just in tears on Instagram. I don't know what's going on other than being the humaning. And I do have to get off in about 45 minutes to do my online class. A couple of announcements. One, February 1st, starting at 2 p.m. live here on YouTube. I'm doing a YouTube series called The Divine Design. It's about my book, The Divine Design. And it's 6 weeks. I'm showing up live at 2 p.m. California time talking about the book. So if you want to mark it on your calendars, mark it on your calendars. Hit the subscribe button and then the notification, and you'll get notified when I go live. It's going to be really fun. It's my favorite subjects to talk about is everything in the divine design, how we got here, how your consciousness is in a body, how the body was created, the evolution in human consciousness, how we were in a fifth dimensional field, how we're now in a third dimensional field, where we're going back into fifth dimensional fields, what that even means, what are dimensions, what's the quantum field, so much. Second thing is, what's the second thing I was going to tell you guys? I think my newsletter, don't forget to sign up for my newsletter if you haven't already. It goes out every Sunday and there's always a free meditation in there. So that's down below in the description. And last thing is there's an energy update that I'm doing today at 4 p.m. California time. Wowzers. Energy. There's so much. My gosh, 4 p.m. on my Patreon community today, an energy update. But I want to dive right into what's going on right now on the planet and what may be happening with you. First of all, my whole entire purpose of doing Untangled and continuing to do Untangled, no matter what, deeply committed to it, is to untangle, is to make the uncomfortable very comfortable, to literally talk about how we are humaning, how we are evolving, what it looks like, and why you're breaking down over and over again, why you may feel like you're not healing, why emotional states continue to show up, why patterns are so intense, like just the basic humaning right now, right? And going through it and having somebody reflect your own states, your own way in which you're being is so powerful. It's so important, because typically what we have in the world are teachers. So what teachers do, or people that are that they excel at their knowledge, and so they're sharing all kinds of knowledge, or um, they're healers, or they've got whatever other jobs they work at banks or whatever they do, right? And a lot of times, if you're on the awakened path or the spiritual path, what typically happens is that you listen to people that supposedly have more knowledge than you, or are at a level of awareness or consciousness or living that feels bigger than you or higher than you. And so then you are judging yourself and you're thinking there's something wrong with yourself, and blah, blah, blah. And my whole entire purpose on this planet is to be as human as possible, while I also have this profound knowledge of how we got here and what the quantum field is and how consciousness exists and how you have a light quotient within your body, how the physical body was designed. And yet still there are breakdowns that I have throughout my week. There are still limiting beliefs that I feel about myself that I let control me. There is still an awareness that I have to show up and be as present as possible all day long and let emotions move through my body. I have to remember that I am not thought. So I could have all the knowledge in the world. I could write a book called The Divine Design that is mind blowing, activating in every freaking way. And I still am learning how to human. I'm still learning how to do this, right? And we miss that in a lot of ways. We don't see that. We don't see the breakdown. We don't see the insecurities, the doubts. We don't see the everyday. And that's fine, right? That's fine. But I refuse to not be vulnerable, raw, and express and share what's going on with me in the human world, because what the fuck is the point? I'll also do the divine design and blow your minds around DNA and consciousness and aliens and all that other stuff. But what really matters is having that compassion for your human experience and remembering how intense the human experience is, and that it is the most miraculous thing you will ever do as spirit. And the reason it is so miraculous is because you're actually light. You're non-physical. You're this incredible high tarot, Jadar. Thank you so much for your super chat. We are this amazing consciousness. We are this light, this spirit, God, whatever, encased in this physical form, walking around in this physical reality that isn't actually real, but it is real and it's intense. And every single freaking day, I am balancing between truly believing that I'm Lori Ladd, this persona, this ego, this personality, and all the ways in which I live in the world, my codependencies that just show up when I'm in a relationship, my need to be loved, my insecurities, or the insecurities, the unworthiness that may be arising that doesn't arise the way it used to, the soul embodiment, the feeling of soul in my body, what that feels like, and that absolute gift, the ability to walk out into the world and engage with humans in this really open, receptive way, and then also just shut down, close off, and be so irritated. All of it is here. All of it's allowed. All of it's inviting. It all just is, right? And as of late, I have always, the way that I have moved through my world, um, and continue to show up and continue to grow and expand, is I show up every day in as much presence as possible. And what that means is that I show up in the presence of now. I show up with what's happening right now. So I show up in what emotion is moving through me right now. I show up in what thought is moving through me right now. I show up in what behavior is experienced right now. I show up and I'm watching, I'm observing. I observe it all. I observe everything all day long. So I am simultaneously being in it, experiencing it, feeling it, and I'm watching myself in it. It's massive. It is a huge shift when you start observing. And the power of me starting to observe more and more and more is that I'm simply just allowing everything. And when I start allowing everything, there is a huge amount of compassion that you cannot help but have for yourself. And so here's what has happened to me this past week that I want to share vulnerably. Maybe this is a mistake in sharing it. I don't know, but I'm going to share it because there seems to be something profound in this experience that I'm having. So I decided to hire somebody to come in and help me go to like this next level of my work, like just help me move into, walk with me into um, where I want to go next. I've never done this before. Um, But I decided to do this when I got back from Africa because I just felt such a a big shift happening with me, and I wanted help. Um, but a couple of weeks ago, some things happened during our calls, and something happened a couple of days ago that really rattled me. Brought up abandonment. It brought up somebody walking away from me. This person walking away from me. It brought up I'm not doing things right. It brought up a pattern. It was showing me patterns that I do. Um, and something just didn't quite feel right. Okay. And it's not that I don't want to do my own personal work. If there's anybody that wants to do personal work, it's fucking me. I'm looking at myself all day long, every day, all day long. It's literally my full time job. It's what I do. I'm constantly observing myself. I'm constantly looking at my patterns. I'm constantly looking at my behaviors. I'm constantly looking at the choices I make, why I make those choices. Oh, here I go again. I'm constantly doing my best to choose new ways of doing. I am on alert all day long. So this isn't something new. But what was so powerful and what I want to share with you is that deep down inside, okay, what has happened to you? What has created the conditioning that you have, whether you when you feel like someone's abandoning you, you walk away, or when you feel like you can't love yourself, you grab onto others so that they can love you. You feel like you're always in this survival state, that life is never going to be easy, that you have to fight against things. You believe that you have to work really, really hard in order to survive. I don't know what your behavioral patterns are. I know mine. And I know my behavioral patterns came from whatever experiences I've had in the past, right? Different pages of my book, different chapters of my book. Those chapters and pages are never going anywhere. That happened. It's affecting me now. It is what it is. To me, what I am not interested in any longer and what I'm finding myself in that I'm not going to be in, I don't want to be in, is dive into all of the reasons, okay, that I have this abandonment issue, and having this belief or this idea that if I keep going back and talking about it or looking at it or recognizing it, that somehow it's going to heal. Somehow it's going to get fixed. And that when someone triggers me, right, and the abandonment comes in, the anger comes in, the frustration comes in, that is the moment. That's the moment of healing. That's the moment of change. That's the moment of choice. So when this individual said what they said to me and it triggered a deep abandonment, right? My initial response was I grabbed and I said, "Don't leave, don't leave, don't leave, don't leave." Wow, look at how you responded, Lori. That's your behavioral pattern. Don't leave, don't leave, don't leave, don't leave, don't leave. I need you, 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 I need you. No, 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 you can't go, you can't go, you can't go, you can't go. Okay, great. Wow. Observing the whole time, letting that happen, letting that unfold. If you're conscious of it, right, you're just going to watch it and you're going to be like, holy shit, but you're conscious, you're observing. And then you start watching what happens in the next couple of hours and the next day. And when I say watch, you feel into your body. You feel into your body and what feels right to you. We do not need to be pushed. I do not believe that we need to be pushed into healing. I do not believe that we need to be rattled into healing. I don't. I believe that we just need to be seen. I believe that we just need to be heard. I believe that we just need to be loved. I do. I believe that. I believe that we just need to be a reflection. I believe that we need to trust intuitively what we are feeling. I do not believe in this way of being where somebody is going to tell me what I need to look at. Somebody's going to tell me this is a pattern. Someone's going to tell me this isn't okay. Someone's going to tell me You can't be successful if you keep doing this. Someone's going to tell me those things. That doesn't feel right to me. Healing or not, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel good in my system. Except the external world tells me this is how you work. This is how you heal. This is how you move through things. I don't believe that shit. I don't. The whole world's going to tell you that's how it works. And I'm going to tell you something in my opinion and in my belief, and this is not going to be a popular belief. All that does is keep us in the loops of healing and fixing and having somebody outside of us tell us what we need to see and what we need to heal and how we need to do it. And then all we're doing is constantly believing or thinking that there's something wrong with us, something else is going to pop in, some trigger is going to come in, and I need to look at it and I need to fix it and I need to figure it out in order for me to be good, in order for me to be healed, in order for me to be whole. And truly, what truly heals you, what truly brings you back into that homeostasis wholeness, which is always who you are, is compassion. Try it. That's not going to heal you, Lori. Try it. Compassion and listening to what is your absolute truth. Well, that you have patterns and you have this and you have that. If you have compassion for yourself and you listen to your body, you listen to your intuition, also feeling everything, you will feel that that ickiness when someone comes in and tells you what you need to see. This is different than like a therapist that's coming in and reflecting and asking you to look at this or look at that. They're most likely holding compassion. Anything that does not feel like compassion, your radar in your body is going to go up, because we are not designed innately to not be compassionate. Compassion is our natural state. Compassion for ourselves and compassion for others. It's our natural state. And we have this fucked up program in the world where we have to be harsh with people, or we have to point things out, or we have to, we have to hit their trigger point. We have to rattle them. Bullshit. No, we don't. That, to me, that is a third dimensional, heavy, weighted down, dense matrix way of dealing with being human. Just being human. Like, wow. Look at what's popping up right now, abandonment. Look at your reaction and response. Look at how you are afraid of being left. Look, where is the fucking compassion? No, it needs to be harsh. It needs to be triggering. It needs to be this. It needs to be that. And I felt in my body when this was happening, I was like, this doesn't feel good. And I'm not saying that healing or doing the internal work feels good. I know what it feels like. I do it all day long, but it doesn't feel like this. It doesn't. It does not feel like this. The whole world is going to tell me this is what it feels like. The whole world is going to say, the whole industry out there is going to say, perhaps, I'm going to trigger you. I'm going to pinpoint things you don't want to look at. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And I'm just here to tell those of you that are resonating with this right now, keep trusting yourself. Keep listening to what you are intuitively feeling. There is no right way of doing this, and the human way of going through your own process of humaning, going through this human journey, is compassion. That's it. And having compassion for people that are triggering you, and having compassion for the part of you that's being triggered. And really deeply looking at, thank you so much, Nan Curly, for the super chat. Being really honest and vulnerable around what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Whether you're in a relationship with someone, whether you're in friendships with someone, whether you're, in partnerships and work or whatever it is. In my opinion, it needs to now listen, emotions feel like shit. Healing doesn't feel good, okay? Going into the dark, deep depths of your soul, all right? It doesn't feel good. Thank you, Torsten, for the super chat. I get it. I do it. I go into the depths of fucking dark shit a lot. Dark being the stuff, the underbelly. But that feels very different than someone coming into my life and telling me what I need to see, or trying to trigger me into seeing what I need to see, or pushing me to be a certain way or to change a certain pattern or whatever the heck somebody else's thing is. I don't need it. I don't. I need compassion. I need openness. I need understanding. I need empathy. Because where we go in our own inner worlds is so raw. Where you go when you don't want to go there deep within yourself, when you really show up and listen to the thoughts, all right? When you're scared, when you don't like how you're being, when you are when you're doing a pattern that you know you shouldn't be doing, perhaps, right? You don't want to be. We don't need somebody standing there saying, "Do it differently." We need somebody to stand there and say, "Yeah, I see it. What do you want to do? Yeah, I see it. What do you want to do? Yeah, I see you. I got you. It's not you." We live in a very masculine world, okay? Masculine meaning very forceful, very very manipulative, very much out of body, very much out of body. And the more that we come into the body meaning a feeling state, the more raw you're going to feel, the more vulnerable you're going to feel, the more triggers you may have, but the softer you become, the more compassionate you become, the more open you become, the more receptive you become. And then when you run up against that harsh, deep masculine energy, it doesn't feel right anymore. Thanks, Martin, for the super chat, my friend. That masculine energy doesn't quite feel right, because there's this energy that we call the feminine energy that is body. That's Thanks, the Irish priestess, for your super chat. There's a feminine energy that wants to come through, right? And that feminine energy is powerful. It knows itself. It knows its strength. I'm not talking about a female, okay? I'm talking about a feminine energy. This feminine energy is more powerful than the masculine energy that's been running your life or the world in general, which is forceful, like, go get it. I have to not feel in order to be able to get to where I need to get to. I can't slow down because I won't get there. I have to be going 100 miles per hour, full speed ahead. I don't have time to be. I don't have time to slow down. I don't have time to feel, right? I need you to just tell me, boom, 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 boom. What do I need to look at? That's the masculine. You see it in healing all the time. Tell me what I need to do. Tell me what I need to feel. Tell me the steps I need to take so that I can be healed. I can be done. I can be fixed. That's masculine. Right? And so this feminine energy is coming in, which is in the body. And when you start getting into the body, guess what happens? One, that masculine energy doesn't feel quite right. Like, something feels a little off about that. There needs to be a rebalancing. I feel like I need to be more softer with myself, more compassionate. I feel like what I'm doing right now is the best that I can do, and it's okay. I feel like I'm being conscious, aware. You're slowing down enough to see yourself, to watch yourself. to be the observer. It's a very feminine energy. And when you start watching yourself, I'm telling you, you're going to have compassion. You're going to cheer yourself on. And what this does when you drop into body is then you start intuitively feeling more and more, wait a second. This harshness, nope, doesn't feel right. Thank you so much, Jason, for the super chat. The soul of who you are, the energy that we were talking about, the energy that you are, the consciousness that you are, it is a balancing of that feminine and that masculine, but it is not harsh, it's not rough, it's not forceful. It's forgiving, it's relaxing, it's open, it moves, it's fluid. And fluidity means that whatever's arising is what's arising. And there's a perfection in that. You're perfect. You're okay. Yes, these patterns are showing up. Shall we talk about it? This forceful triggering. I got to trigger you. I got to show you your patterns. I got to show you what you're not seeing. No, you don't. You're not in charge. You're not in charge. You're not God. When we start to come into the body, thank you for the Torsten for the super chat. When we come into the body, we know that. We're not somebody else's God. We don't make their rules. We don't push them into seeing anything they're not ready to see. Even if you're paying them, there's a compassion. There's a heart. And we live in a world where that's not the chosen way. That's not the programmed way. Why? Because this entire world has been based on mind control for thousands of years. And when you are under mind control, you're afraid of yourself. And when you're afraid of yourself, you're going to constantly look for the things that you need to fix and that you need to change. And my God, if I get more, if there's more triggers, that means I'm healing even more. And my God, I'm doing such a great job. Oh, right. You're doing a great job constantly feeling like shit and feeling as if there's something wrong with you and that you need to change again and again and again and again. And by the way, you're not the one that's going to help you fix and change. Something outside of you is. That is a deep, deep, deep program on this planet that has kept us disempowered. It's a mind control fuckery that we need to step out of. There's nothing wrong with you. You have all the fucked up programs and behaviors like everyone else. You're going to mess up. You're going to make even more mistakes than you've already made. This is not a planet where you become this perfected human and nothing shitty happens to you. And you don't do behaviors that are based on page 76. Guess what? Page 76 is in your story. So you just may accidentally do a behavior based on what happened to you on fucking page 76. Does that mean there's something wrong with you? No, it does not. It means that page 76 happened. And you are now living in the same world where page 76 happened. And you're doing your best. You're doing your best to get through life and to do life based on all the pages. And how dare anyone shame you based on what you're doing right now, what you're saying right now, the patterns that you have, the trauma responses that you have. Shame on anyone that's shaming you or making you feel bad or telling you that you need to heal or telling you that you need to fix. That's like throwing rocks at a glass house, whatever that statement is. Everyone's fucked up. Everyone is messed up because we all have a book with pages And yes, some of us may be choosing different ways, but we're all doing the best we can. And at the end of the day, if you remember who people actually are, which is a soul, which is consciousness, which is God, then who the hell am I to point my finger at someone and say, you need to fix this about you? You need to change this about you. You need to stop doing this behavior. You're not going to be successful if you keep doing that. Fuck off. Yes, I will. Because I'm going to have compassion for myself, because I'm going to be present with myself, because I'm going to continue to keep my eyes open and look at how I behave and open my heart even more to myself and humanity. That's how I change this world. If I can't open my heart to myself based on every single way in which I show up now, in the now, if I think that I always have to change, do you want to know, like this past 24 hours, I felt so shitty about myself. So fucking shitty about myself. And I feel that way ever. I'm always feeling, I'm recognizing the thoughts I have of whatever that may come up, right? I'm aware of codependency that may show up. I'm aware of like the desire and need for somebody to come into my life and love me, and how, when I go away on a trip or a vacation, maybe I shut down, maybe I somehow my energy moves into this person. I don't know. All kinds of stuff happens. All kinds of stuff. But I never feel shitty about myself. Never. I refuse to. I won't do it. Not for healing, not for up-leveling, none of it. I won't do it. Don't do it. Don't feel shitty about yourself. Go through everything, see everything, be in awe of how messed up you may be. But don't feel crappy. Or try not to. Try not to. Thank you, Annie, for the super chat. You can have all the support we need. Listen, there's so much support out there. So much support. All I'm saying is don't let somebody make you feel shitty about yourself. Don't let somebody manipulate you. Manipulation is ingrained in this planetary system. And manipulation is, we are bred into it. We are born into manipulation. And manipulation convinces us of who we are not. It convinces us that we need external things. It convinces us that we need to be afraid. It convinces us that we're not powerful. It convinces us that we need to constantly be in our minds. It convinces us that we're not safe in here. The most potent and powerful you can be is inside the body, which means feeling. Feeling. The most powerful thing that you can do all day long is feel. That's actually how you break free. Feel, 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 feel. And what mind control does, and manipulation, which starts from a very early age, is convinces you that you're not safe to feel. It puts you in a disempowered state, in a fear state. Thank you so much, Wind Rider, for that super chat. It puts you in a state that you're not safe in the world, that you need external things. You truly don't, okay? But until we realize that, we use the external world, and eventually we realize, wow, the only thing I need is to go into my body. The only thing I need is to trust what I'm feeling. The only thing I need is to experience my feelings, know that I'm safe to do it, becoming aware. Because the most powerful thing about that is that you realize, holy shit, I'm none of this. I'm not the emotions and the thoughts. Oh my God, I'm not even my behaviors. Look at the behaviors that I do. And then you go out and you spread that to the rest of the world. You spread that love. You spread it. You remind other people that there's nothing fucking wrong with them, that they don't need to change themselves for somebody else. Imagine if we realized this is one of the hardest things for us to recognize. Thank you, Sean, so much for this super chat. I appreciate you, my friend. Uh, The the most powerful thing that we could realize, and this is not easy, not easy. The most powerful thing we could realize is that we don't need to heal or fix or change anything about us, truly, because it's not who we are. What we need to do is become conscious of who we think we are. Think about this for a second. Truly, this is next level. I swear to you, just sit with this for a second. When you start to recognize that there actually is nothing to heal, fix, or change about yourself, that everything is arising in the moment, it is what it is. It's an emotion, a belief, it's a behavior, it's a response, it's a program. You start to see it through that lens, that this is not who I am. I am not the one that thinks that she's abandoned. I am not the one that responded the way I responded of grabbing and saying, don't go, don't go, don't go. I'm also not the one that said, screw you, I'm done. I'm not going to be in this space anymore. There is a part of me that is reacting and responding to life based on the past, what Lori has been through, and based on how she's currently, consciously, presently choosing to be. But who I actually am is none of that. So, what actually needs to be healed? What am I healing? Truly, what are you healing? You think you're healing something, but you're just reprogramming. It's just another program. What if you just showed up in life every day present? Present right now, then present right now, present right now. What if you started to throw away the programming that you need to heal, fix, and change? That you've got trauma responses that need to change. And what if you just showed up in presence? Which means that you show up right now and you are aware of how you are right here, right now, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you're doing, how you're responding, how you're being with people, the pattern that's coming in right now, and then right now, and then right now. And instead of saying, I need to heal this, I need to change or fix this, it just becomes a choice of, is this how I want to respond? Is this how I want to be? It's not me. Then it just becomes a choice. And one day it's maybe easier to choose a behavior than the next day. Does that make you less then? Does that make you more messed up? Uh-uh. Mm-mm. It's a choice to believe that we have to continue to heal and fix and change. We need to point out people's stuff that they need to see and fix and change. It's all bullshit. Sorry, but it is. Whatever you need to see is going to show up in presence. Whatever patterns that who you think you are, has been doing will show up the moment you need to see it. And if you're courageous enough to be present, which means that you are aware, you're alert, you're open, you're looking at, you're seeing, you're feeling, you're hearing what's arising right now. And you're recognizing that how you respond is a choice. And you realize sometimes it doesn't feel like a choice because there's such deep, deep trauma. Compassion. Wow, look at how difficult it is for me to choose a different way. I can't. Right. Because you got 17 pages in your book that has taught you this way of being. Wow, holy shit. A little harder than I thought. That's compassion. Anything other than that, thank you, Mary, so much for that super chat. Anything other than that, is going to keep us in the loop of healing, fixing, and changing, which is great until you realize it's a whole different lens we're being asked to look at. Presence and awareness is the key to everything. It's the key to recognizing that you're not messed up, that you've done nothing wrong, that you're not, you know, you don't need changing. You just need presence and choice. Everything else that tells us whatever it is that we need to do to fix and heal and change. And, there's a freedom that happens when you feel like you've healed something, right? I've done it. We call it healing. It's a freedom. Thank you, Nicole, so much for your uh, super chat. Any advice for spiritual fatigue? Um, Switch up your routine. Okay, so do something different. Force yourself to do something different. Switch up your routine. Switch up where you go to grab food, or where you go to the grocery store. Where do you go to get a coffee? Um, switch switch up the energy. Move the energy around. If you're always doing the same thing, do something different. Right? Go to a different town, go into a bookstore, maybe go walk down a street you've never walked down, go to a park you've never been to. Switch up the energy. It does it does a lot to the stagnation of your energy, right? When we are constantly there and doing the work, it can get very exhausting. It can feel like you're treading in the same water. I want to come back really quickly to this feeling free when you heal something, having that aha moment. When you are present, okay, and when you are with whatever's arising, you won't necessarily have the same sort of like massive moment of freedom, let's say, than if you were to walk into your therapist's office. You have a powerful session and you get this aha moment. You're like, oh my God, I'm healed. This is so amazing. Or you go to an amazing conference, right? And you spend 5 days at this conference and you're just changed. Everything's changed, right? You have these aha moments. You feel free. You feel different. Um, what ends up happening is, um, what could end up happening is something else is going to boil up, that you're going to feel like you need to go and get that same aha, I'm free feeling, right? And so there's this constant chasing of, I need to get free of this. I need to have these aha moments, which is fine because you can keep going and getting them and finding them. It's available. But what's more profound and more powerful and less of the right, which was why people don't want to do it, is you show up in presence and you look at what's happening right here, right now. You look at your choices right here, right now. You look at your thoughts right here, right now, or the thoughts, right? The emotions, the behaviors. And you simply show up right here, right now. And this is the hard way through. Okay? Because it's slowly peeling back every single tiny little minute part of you that doesn't want to be in what is, that wants out, that wants the quick fix. When you show up in presence, it's going to be harder. It's not going to feel as good necessarily. It's going to feel slower. It's going to feel like you're not making progress. It's going to feel like it may be getting worse. It's because you're present. And present is where everything heals. Presence is where everything changes. Presence is the alchemization process. Every second of every hour, of every day, of every week, of every month. And what the unfortunate or fortunate part is that there are these things that we can jump into, right? That does work 100%. It totally works. But what it does is it pulls us out of presence. and we focus on something during that time and we dive into something during that time, but you still have to go back into your days. You still have to go back into presence. You still have to show up in your life. And what happens is most of us don't want to actually be in presence, which is where the transformation truly happens. And when something arises that we don't like, we jump. Or if the same thing arises and we don't like it, we don't know how to be in it. We think it's us, and so we give it power and control. We want to run from it. We want to change it. We want to fix it. Then we go out and we try to fix it and change it. And then something fixes it and changes it in that moment. But then we come back into presence and something else arises that we don't like. I got to go fix and change that. We're running from presence. Presence is the gift. That's why they call it presence. It's the gift. It's not a mistake. The more you show up in presence, the less you'll run. Try to fix and heal. You'll realize that it's the right here, right now. It's every argument. It's every moment that you're uncomfortable. It's every emotion you don't want to feel. It's every choice you're making. It's it's all of it. This is the healing. And then you become free. And then you realize when somebody comes into your world and they want to rattle it up, they want to show you things about yourself, it just feels weird. It's like, why are you trying to drown me in a river that I'm designed to float in? I see every leaf. I see every rock. I see what I'm doing. I see it. I don't need somebody to point on the side of the river. Thank you, Neela, for the super chat. I don't need someone to point in the river. You're floating down the river the wrong way. I'm floating down the river the way I'm floating down the river, and I'm doing the best I can. So just remember, I mean, this conversation went where it went, but just try to be more present if you can. Truly. Recognize how often you beat yourself up or you shame yourself or someone else shames you or beats you up around who you are. It's not you. Truly, at the end of the day, it's not you. Never has been, but you think it's you. And it's perfect. All right. I got to go into my Align class. I love you guys. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button, because that's the world we live in, where you click a thumbs up button to say, I liked this video. Subscribe to my channel if you want to be notified when I go live. I look like a hunched over. If you want to join my energy update today at 4 p.m., January 30th, the link is down below to my Patreon community. It's going to be fiery. What else? And join my newsletter. Every Sunday it goes out and I give you a free meditation. Love you guys. What if I didn't need to heal, fix, or change everything? What if I just needed to show up in presence and have compassion for myself, and that everything changes through the presence? Everything changes in presence. You correct the aggressive behavior in presence. I am not saying you keep doing the aggressive behavior. I'm saying in the moment that the aggressive behavior is happening, you become present of it. You become conscious of it. You become aware of it. You are present with that behavior. You recognize the behavior. And then you start choosing, sometimes very difficultly, but you start choosing in that moment to respond differently, to react differently. Presence will show you everything. All right. Love you guys.